All right, so you're thinking about a trip to China. That's awesome. Look, I've spent more than 10 years there, and I've learned a ton of things the hard way. So, what we're going to do today is boil all of that experience down into a simple, essential guide for you. Think of this as your personal roadmap to having an incredible trip. Let's dive right in. So, you're heading to China. That's fantastic. But I'm guessing you've already figured out that getting ready for this trip, well, it's not quite like packing for anywhere else. It's about more than just seeing the Great Wall and booking a hotel. There are these essential rules, these unwritten things you really need to know for a smooth journey. And that's exactly what we're going to cover. We're going to give you the answers you need. Okay, so where do we start? Well, before you even think about what to pack, before you even look at exchange rates, the single most important thing you need to do is on your phone. Seriously, getting your digital toolkit ready is step one. And trust me, it is absolutely non-negotiable. All right, let's look at these. You're going to want to download these 5 apps before you go. Think of them as the pillars of daily life in China. First, WeChat. It's your all-in-one social media, messaging, and payment app. Then there's Alipay, which is the other major payment platform. For getting around, you've got Didi. That's basically China's version of Uber. Pleco is an amazing offline dictionary. It'll be a total lifesaver, I promise. And last but definitely not least, a VPN. This one is super, super important. So, what is a VPN? It stands for Virtual Private Network, and you can think of it as your magic key to the internet you're used to. See, in China, a lot of Western sites and apps are blocked. Things like Google, your email, Instagram, you name it. They call this the Great Firewall. A VPN gets you over that wall. But here is the most critical part. You have to download and set it up before you fly. If you wait until you land in China, it's too late. You won't be able to get it. Okay, sticking with our digital theme here, let's talk about money. Because how you pay for things in China is probably going to blow your mind. Here in the West, right, we're all about credit cards and cash. Well, China basically skipped that whole era. It's an almost completely cashless society. Everything, and I mean everything, runs on mobile payments using QR codes. You'll see them at fancy restaurants, and you'll see them at tiny little fruit stands on the street. It's everywhere. Now, for a long time, this was a huge headache for tourists. You couldn't easily use the system. But, and this is the really good news, that has changed. It's a total game changer. You can now link your international credit cards directly to WeChat and Alipay. This is a fairly new feature, and it makes things so much easier for travelers. It's a huge relief. All right, so your phone is all set up. You've landed in China. You walk out of the airport. Now what? Let's talk about the day-to-day stuff, the practical things you'll actually be doing. You know, how to pay for your morning coffee, how to get across town, all those on-the-ground logistics. And this is how it works. It's the same simple process for almost every single purchase. It goes like this. 1, you open up your app, either WeChat or Alipay. 2, you show them your payment QR code. And 3, the shopkeeper just scans it. You'll hear a little beep, and that's it. You're done. You've paid. It's that fast. And you'll do this for absolutely everything. Now, what about getting around? Honestly, navigating China's big cities is a dream. It's so efficient. First, you've got the subway. They are amazing, super clean, super safe, and really cheap. For anywhere the subway doesn't go, you'll use Didi, that ride-hailing app we talked about. And then for shorter trips, you'll see these rental bikes literally everywhere. You just walk up, scan the QR code on the bike with your phone, and it unlocks. Just like that. It's a really fun way to see the city. Okay, let's move on to one of my favorite topics and probably one of the best parts of your trip, the food. And I have to say, in China, food isn't just food. It's kind of a big deal. It's at the heart of the culture, how people socialize, everything. But, and this is important, eating out has its own set of rules, its own etiquette that might be a little different from what you're used to back home. So let's go over the big 3 things you need to know about dining etiquette. First, meals are almost always shared. They'll bring out a bunch of dishes for the center of the table and everyone just digs in. It's called family style. Second, you don't really split the bill. It's just not done. Instead, one person will pay for the entire meal. The idea is that you'll get it next time. And third, here's some good news, there's no tipping at all. It's not required, it's not expected, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, a very quick but very important health and safety tip. Do not drink the tap water anywhere in China. It's just not safe for consumption. You'll want to stick to bottled water for drinking. And, a lot of people even use bottled water to brush their teeth, just to be on the safe side. Okay, We've covered your digital toolkit. We've talked about the daily logistics. Now we're moving into our final section. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all. We're going to talk about the invisible rules, the cultural nuances that guide how people interact. Understanding this stuff is what takes a trip from good to truly great. If there is just one cultural idea you take away from this, please let it be this one. It's the concept of Mianzi, which translates to face. Now, it's a deep concept, but at its heart, it's about honor, reputation, and respect. The main goal is to avoid embarrassing anyone in public, including yourself. It's all about helping others save face and preventing them from losing face. I know it sounds abstract, so let me give you a real-world example. Okay, so let's imagine this scenario. Let's say your friend's rental bike gets stolen. Man, that's a really frustrating situation, right? And it's kind of embarrassing too. So your first instinct, our Western instinct, is to offer sympathy. But the way a Chinese person might react, well, it could seem really, really strange at first. So, the Western response is usually sympathy, right? Oh no, that's terrible, I'm so sorry. But a common Chinese response might actually be to laugh a little. Now, hold on. It's crucial to understand this is not them being mean or making fun of the person, not at all. It's their way of helping the friend save face. By laughing, they're downplaying the situation, making it seem less serious, which helps reduce the friend's embarrassment. It's a completely different way of handling the situation. And one last point I really want to touch on is personal safety, because this is something people often wonder about. The bottom line is, China is an incredibly safe country, especially when you look at global standards. Violent crime is very, very rare. In fact, it's common to hear travelers, especially women, talk about how safe they feel walking around alone, even late at night. Of course, you should always be smart and aware of your surroundings, like anywhere else. But generally speaking, it's not something you need to be overly worried about. So there you have it. China is this incredible land of contrasts, right? You've got ancient history right next to futuristic cities. You've got these deep, unspoken social rules existing alongside amazing technology. It can be a lot to take in. But now, with these tools in your digital pocket and this new cultural understanding, you're not just ready to be a tourist. You're ready to actually connect, to understand things on a deeper level. And that's how you have a truly unforgettable journey. So, with all this in mind, the only question left is, what will you discover?